Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another live stream. People talking about Genty getting robbed. Yeah, we all knew that was going to happen, though. There was no way they were going to give Hunter the Biliktikov and would they give him the best defensive player of the year? Not even the best defensive back, but the best defensive player. Of course, he was going to win the Heisman. You know, the whole popularity thing with him and stuff. And that whole Genty versus Hunter thing, that thing was totally hijacked and controlled by the media like halfway through the season. If you saw like the odds and stuff, anytime anyone would start arguing about Genty, everyone would be like, just look at the odds. I mean, Hunter was like minus 2,000 to win the award with like 3 weeks left. And so it's like you can't even argue it. Get the show on the road. Well, I started like 1 minute even before today. Hunter deserved it because of how good he was on both sides of the ball. I don't know, man. I mean, did he really contribute? I mean, they barely even they didn't even make the playoff in a bad conference. It's not even a good conference. What up, DG? Drones getting wild. They seen 50 come from the ocean. A cop reported it. Drones have tech they don't produce. Heat. Yeah, this is what I was going to talk about, and I was going to play this for people because I was like, you know, who knows with this stuff? We don't really have perspective on drone technology. We really don't know what they have. So people start saying, well, it's extraterrestrial. But Sean 1776, I appreciate that. But yeah, this dude's like, yeah, we don't have this technology. We don't know what this is. So maybe it is no, it's not. But imagine it's aliens and they're saying you can't engage them. You can't be hostile towards them. We don't know what's going on. No, I don't think that's what it is, but I mean, it's kind of strange how long this has been going on for. But this dude is like admitting, like, this is some crazy stuff. They don't produce any heat or anything. They can't see them on the scans. They're never going to tell us what really happened with the drones. Yeah, I don't have confidence. I mean, they never even said anything about the weather balloon. It's just non-answers. All right, let's see what this is.
Smith, well, I got to be honest here. You know, when this story first came out a few weeks ago, as a resident of New Jersey, as a journalist, I didn't pay it much credence. I thought it would turn out to be a bunch of pranksters and this would all be over by now. The experience I had last night, however, changed the way I feel about this story completely. What I saw was more sophisticated than I ever imagined. Take a look.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 lights, 6 lights.
I didn't believe what I was seeing. But what was I seeing? We're here in central Jersey. We've been looking for the past hour. I think we've seen about 40 or 50 of these drones. In fact, there's one over my shoulder right there. One after another, these drones appeared in the night sky. If you look real close, they look like fixed-wing aircraft, about 8 to 10 feet wide, colorful, white blinking lights.
That is not a plane.
Definitely not an airplane, but what was it? Hours earlier, I was invited to join the Ocean County Sheriff Department. They launched their own drones to see if they could intercept the mysterious aircraft New Jersey residents have been reporting in recent weeks. The department says these mystery drones evade detection because they don't give off heat like regular drones. Why do you think that is?
We don't know. It's just something that we haven't, you know, it's not something that we've had our hands on. It's not something that we've experienced.
Something they hadn't experienced until now. One of their officers called 911 after seeing 50 of them come off the ocean.
Advised after we made
How's there's 50 drone? There's a drone swarm coming off the ocean.
contact with that officer that there were 50 that came off the ocean. 50? 50. That was my reaction also. There were 50 that...
People saying they're all planes. I mean, but this wouldn't be a story if it was just all planes. I mean, there's obviously weird drones. I mean...
were coming off the ocean.
And this is a sworn officer.
A sworn officer, yes. We contacted state police, we contacted the FBI, we contacted the Coast Guard, at which point the Coast Guard went out with their boat, and they reported seeing 13 following their boat. And then the Coast Guard also advised that they went over them about 300 feet and had a wingspan of about 8 feet.
I see one right here. Did I see the same thing that officer saw? I'm still not sure. What I can show you...
I mean, some of them do look like planes. I don't know. It's got to be something with the government. You know, some of those people don't have clearance to know the technology that they have. They probably have the technology to not be detected by heat signatures. Thoughts on Mark Hamill's idiot political views? I'm very disappointed with him and how he acted on Carrie Fisher's birthday and insulting. Well, yeah, that's just another liberal who has to make it their personality, and they're just so triggered by Trump, their political brain is broken. See, with politics, it used to be like, yeah, we have different opinions, but it's all right. It's not a big deal. We can still act human. But with him and so many other liberals you see now, because they've been fed that Trump is Hitler and he's this horrible person, you can't be associated with any conservatives or anything. You have to immediately denounce it. And it's really broken people. And it's sad. And Mr. Star Wars is another example. It's aliens. I mean, honestly, it does make sense. It's there's no way it's aliens, but it does make sense if like they're like, well, you can't engage them because we don't want to be hostile towards them because we don't know what it is. It's a drone that's shaped like a plane. I mean, there's obviously a bunch of drones. I mean, they reported 50 drones. It's a drone swarm in New Jersey. But it's like, we'll see what happens. But I thought this story would have been solved by now. Dude, look at this. Just look at this stuff. Like what? Dude. Another Jordan Neely situation. I mean, this is New York, man.
Stop it.
And the dude said, it's fine, listen to your music and stay a little alert, don't make too much eye contact. No, that's not fine. This is not how society in the United States should be operating. It's ridiculous. But these people accept it. It's like, this is acceptable behavior in society now, but just because he's on drugs, it's acceptable. What the fuck is the idiot doing? Tweaking out. Travis Hunter wins the Heisman, but why didn't Colorado make the playoffs at 9-3? Well, they didn't make the playoffs because 9-3 in that conference is definitely not going to get you in. There was the Big 12 was just not good this year. The drone situation is a repeat of the clown craze of 2016. It's a staged event to advertise for a new sci-fi movie or game coming out. It's a unique perspective, but I don't know how advanced the drones are. You'd think it would cost a lot of money to do something like that if they've got like hundreds of them. But I mean, you might be right because I don't think they're violating anything. I mean, it's not like they're violating airspace, so they're just flying them to try and get. Where's a Marine when you need him? Well, I mean, did you see BLM come out and they were like, they didn't even really argue it, but there was like a fake argument. They really didn't have their hearts in it. They're trying to like, oh, it's another case. A white man gets away with murder, but it's like, I don't know. The jig is up with them. I mean, it's like, come on. You got to be kidding me with this daylight savings time. I saw with this, apparently they might make standard time. Because originally I thought, okay, so Trump is just, they've got to confuse, I thought most people wanted to get rid of standard time and people just say, oh, just, eliminate daylight savings time because they think that's, what's going to eliminate the 5 o'clock sunsets. But no, apparently they're really talking about getting rid of daylight savings time and just having standard time, which is what we have right now, which is the early the early sunsets. But then you have the problem with the sunrises if you have the permanent daylight savings time. The sunrises would be really late right now. Really late. The clown craze was for the It movie. Genty got robbed. Yeah, but we all saw it. I mean, it's hard because there's really no way to quantify Hunter because he plays two positions, so you really can't do a statistical comparison. You know what I'm saying? It's like now Ohtani's an amazing player. He is, but like I still remember some of those MVPs with Ohtani, and it was always very annoying because it's like, so I mean, his stats are not as good, but then also he pitches, so it's like he's 10 times better. So it's like, I mean, how can I even compare? I'm worried you're worried about us even making it to January 20th. Here's what Biden is doing, deliberately trying to start World War III by escalation tension with Russia and Ukraine, deliberately adding fuel to the fire in the Middle East by leaking intel. Yeah, there does seem to be a decent amount of sabotage going on behind the scenes right now. Politically, nobody is talking about anything. It seems quite dead. I haven't heard anything about Biden in like the past 5 days. But yeah, I mean, they're trying to sabotage Trump. There's no doubt about it. They hate Trump, and they'll do it quietly. But now there's really no incentive for them. They're terrible people. Look at what they're selling off the wall now. They're just horrible people. And they hate Trump, and so there's no incentive for them to really finish strong. They'd rather set Trump up for failure. Dude, I live in upstate New York. We got sunset at 4:30. Yeah, well, that's because you look at where you're at in terms of the time zone. You're far, far east in terms of Maine is even worse. Maine probably has sunset at like 3:58, 4 o'clock. I forgot what it was. It was like something. But in Maine, the most eastern city in Maine, it's like sets at like 3:50. In Ohio, it's not it's pretty bad in Ohio, but it's better than like being in Boston. Because I'm in the same time zone as Boston, but Boston is more east than me, so their sun's gonna set earlier at this base, with it being the same time. But they were talking about shifting Boston to Atlantic time, which I believe is what some Canadian cities like Newfoundland are on, or it's something like that. But it would move Boston. It would add another time zone to the lower 48, and it would make Boston an hour ahead of me, which I don't think they should do. Boston would be it would be like 11 o'clock in Boston right now if they did that. Johnny, dude, I appreciate that, man. You're always donating. Deliberately sabotaging Trump's border plan by selling parts of the wall for pennies on the dollar. Yeah, that was the obvious one. I did a video on that. Deliberately trying to crash our economy, making America a permanent woke culture by forcing woke judges. Yeah, well, hopefully the woke stuff disappears. You want to know something funny? The liberals get so triggered whenever a conservative mentions the word woke. Oh my God. It's like if you look on Twitter and you see under a tweet, someone say, oh, this is wokeness. You'll have like 50 people. Define woke. What is woke? You're brain dead. Woke. They get so triggered about the word woke. Like they hate, like it's like, it's their trigger word. Like, you just say woke and it summons like 50 SJWs and they're like, what are you... So they really hate that word. And you can see now the word's being used against them and the propaganda is working against that word. The word woke, it is the ultimate... It's the forced apology by white people for stuff that we didn't even do. And we don't even want to get into who built the country because, my God, it's not even close. Permanently weaponizing our judges' system by making permanent positions for people in the Department of Justice. Well, yeah, remember when they said they were going to stack the court? I don't think that's going to end up happening. Did you see the video of someone shooting at a drone? No, I didn't see that. It's probably on here. Dude, are you kidding me? There's a drones meme coin. That's an orb. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, Yeah, dude, imagine if that dude he might have been the dude that said it's for a, I don't know how expensive these drones are though. How, when you do something like that, if you're trying to set something up to get people to talk about drones and then it turns out it's all for a movie or something. But I feel like the government would have said that because they don't want people to be in the dark for this long. I don't know. What you said in one of your videos about parents sending their kids to bus stops in the dark makes sense. Yeah, well, that's the main argument. That's why they switched in 1974. They switched to permanent daylight savings, which angered people, and so that's something to where I don't know if that's negotiable when you're talking about kids going out waiting in the dark, parents not liking it. Can you really I mean, that's like a safety thing. Is there does it raise problems? Does it raise potential that something's bad's going to happen to younger kids, especially elementary school kids? Because that's really, you're talking about them going to school 8:30, 8:45. In some places it's going to be dark. Now it's just dark for the high school kids, I think, and maybe the middle school kids. Not to mention doing who knows what with these drones. All I know is a deep state in the Biden regime is up to no good. That's why I'm worried if we even make it to the inauguration. Yeah, I definitely think we'll make it to the inauguration. But it is annoying, and it's just this weird news cycle right now where I guess people are focused on the drones and stuff, but there's really not. It's just people really aren't talking about much of anything. I guess that's what happens right after an election. You get a little bit of a hangover, so it's not surprising.
Precluded by law. If you know, state and local law enforcement is precluded by law from taking more decisive action, which is why DOD must. They are the ones who have the ability and the authority to act. Congress, yes, and the president, yes, need to move quickly to expand state and local authorities, powers. But DOD has it right now. Sheriff Golden wrote me a few days ago requesting legislation to empower the state police to seriously protect at-risk persons and infrastructure, and if necessary, bring down a dangerous drone or drones. I am now drafting that bill and will soon introduce it. I want to thank him.
They're trying to being able to shoot them down. You bought a drone for $20 on Amazon. Well, that's a very cheap drone then. That probably wouldn't work at past one use, honestly. Donald Trump may officially recognize Somaliland. This is going to make Ilhan Omar go crazy because she hates it more. W's for Trump. Yeah. My light is a little bit brighter tonight, I think. Ex-Army drone pilot here. Shadow QR7. There is no drone that can do what these drones are doing. Well, then that puts it into extraterrestrial territory. Or listen, the government. I mean, but why would the government show off this tech? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, you could say, well, it's the government has tech that a lot of people don't know about, which I agree with you. I agree with you there, but it doesn't make sense to show off that tech unless it's a rogue government official or worker or contractor. But I don't know. We'll have to end up seeing what it is because it's just getting annoying. But Trump did end up mentioning it, so that poly market bet ended up winning. Did anyone tell you that the drones are sniffing for nukes yet? Not confirmed, but likely U.S. drones trying to find smuggled nukes. Where'd you hear that from? They're trying to find from illegal aliens, or just immigrants. Did you see Austria is planning to deport 40K migrants? A far-right party won there like a month ago, but they still can't form a government with the conservatives. It feels like a lot of those countries in Europe are slowly turning to the right. I mean, listen, you don't want to, we saw what happened with the previous 2 elections in France and the UK, but it does seem like there's sediment now. Like you can only get away with sending so many of these people in, and then the people, the natural born citizens, are eventually going to have to push back against it. There's going to have to be a dynamic there, and you're finally starting to see a change, even with how liberal Europe is, where it's like, this is ridiculous. I mean, this is not what we want. It is a literal invasion. That's the thing, is it's hard to grasp like an invasion through immigration, but no, that's what it is. That's a cultural change that people don't want. So why is this being enabled? And why is it propagandized as a positive? Oh my goodness. Guys, I'm in the Australian military. We had an emergency meeting today regarding the drones. Something huge is coming and it will change the world. Trust me, this is bad. You're with the Australian military. I mean, you're going to have to give me some credentials for that, man. Fed in the chat. It's nuke sniffers. They have a dirty bomb that got into the U.S. Some people have some random theories. Well, yeah, everyone's going to start having theories because it hasn't been solved. Dude, this Barron looks like... Oh, this is just a horrible AI image. Look at Trump. Trump looks constipated. So disappointed with the new Lego City sets. When I was younger, I liked the Lego City. They've gotten real bad. They got real cheap with Lego City now. They got cheap with all the Legos, but I mean, for young kids, you got to feel bad for them. Those aren't even sets anymore. I remember looking at some of those sets like a year ago. I was appalled. I mean, it's like 500 pieces. It's like you build like, this is the fire station is like one little building, and it's like, here you go, little John. This is not an actual fire station. It doesn't make sense. Did you cover the ABC News story? What with Stupinopolis? I didn't cover that, but I saw it. They had to pay $15 million to Trump. So what ended up happening with that? Was it because they just lied about his... Yeah, let's take a look at this.
What a kind, sensitive man who clearly cares deeply about women and their sexual assault allegations. Thanks for being an ally, George. I see how concerned you are that victims might not come forward if they are publicly attacked by their rapist or his defenders. To be sure, that is a very real concern. It happens all the time, which you know, because you invented it. Remember? when you created a whole command center designed to smear Bill Clinton's sexual assault and rape accusers so you could elevate him right into the presidency. The attorney representing many of Bill's accusers and their
Yeah, well, this is ABC agrees to pay President Trump $15 million after defaming him. Stephanopoulos falsely stated Trump raped. Well, it's not just Stephanopoulos. They all said that. Some of them were like, well, it was a civil suit, but apparently.
Morning. You've endorsed Donald Trump for president. Judges and 2 separate juries have found him liable for rape and for defaming the victim of that rape. How do you square your endorsement of Donald Trump with the testimony we just...
So I think that was it. In March of 2024. Man, he could get a lot more people than that if that was it. Do you think it could be the Chinese illegal immigrants that are buying farmland next to U.S. military bases, trying to get intel on what our bases have to prepare for World War III? Well, that should be illegal, and it needs to be illegal under Trump. I haven't heard Trump mention that, but that should be something that's... I mean, those people cannot... Listen, you can't buy land in the United States if you're from a foreign... I was going to say if you're Chinese... if you're from a foreign nation. That's just not something that should be allowed. I mean, how are you allowing... You're just allowing the enemy to buy all of your land? And you obviously have to think the government understands it's strategical. Why are these Chinese-based companies buying a bunch of this random farmland? Do you know where they buy it? Is it mainly like Idaho, Montana, Nebraska? You know, all of our nukes are in South Dakota, and North Dakota, I think, has the most nukes out of any state in the U.S. North Dakota does, where they store most of them. Do you think Putin would attend the inauguration? That's not, Well, he did invite Xi Jinping. But that would be like an optic thing. Would you really want to do that while Putin's at war right now and you're trying to get a peace deal done? It would kind of make Trump look weaker, I feel like, if that happened. I mean, you could argue it would also be like, well, it's good for peace. It's good to be talking. It's good to be communicating. It's good to have cordial relations. But I don't know. There's a lot of implications if you do that with somebody at war right now. This lady sounds like AI. Well, you're talking about Megyn Kelly. Did you collect any Star Wars Lego sets as a kid? I had the Death Star. That was it though. I didn't have a ton of the Lego sets. I didn't have a ton of the Star Wars ones. I had the Death Star though. What if Iran is spreading bioweapon? I don't think they have the technology to do that. Hopefully not. I mean, that's what I was told, but who knows? Glad I didn't watch the Heisman Trophy winners come from trash, unranked teams. Colorado's ranked. Colorado's got to be ranked at 9-3. E. Jean Carroll saying rape is sexy. Well, I know, like, that's really who they're going to pick to be like, oh, Donald Trump. Like, oh, yeah, Donald Trump's the first ever billionaire to have somebody try and defame him and get money out of him for sexual, for SA. Like, seriously? And then she goes on CNN and says that. Bill Gates owns the most land in the U.S. He's a sick man. Yeah, he does own a ton. I know that I've watched some Rogan episodes where they were like, why the fuck does Bill Gates own so much farmland? I mean, his farmland is for All that fake meat, you got to do all the experiments. I mean, you need all of it. The Beyond Burger or whatever. Do you think Andy Bashir could run for president? Yeah, he'll probably run, I'd imagine. Probably won't do very well. DG, you were awesome this election. I know what drones they are. Well, what drones are they then? Foreign adversary drones. This seems untenable as our military would shoot them down. That's what I said. I mean, but even where would they come from? They're coming from the Atlantic Ocean? I mean, do they have that range? If you doubt this, try flying your unregistered drone near a military base or a Coast Guard ship. I know, it's just, I can't believe they'd be foreign. It just seems so unbelievable. Alex Jones saying World War III, should we buy in? Well, listen, Alex, it's a daily thing with Alex. I mean, I like Alex, but it is a daily thing where he says it's going to be World War III basically every day. And one day it's probably going to be right, sadly. But we're hoping Trump can avoid it and everything. And do you think Trump can reduce the national debt? Reducing the debt is very complex. I mean, you can, they're going to cut programs, a lot of programs, and they're going to cut certain aspects of spending. But if you also keep taxes lower, it's not going to help with the debt. So maybe I just don't know to the extent that I don't know the impact that Doge is going to have in terms of how much they'll be able to cut, because they say like they're saying crazy numbers like over 50%. But you want to reduce the debt, you need to get a strategic Bitcoin reserve, and that'll do it in time. Unfortunately, the U.S. is getting in late. I mean, if the U.S. would have invested into Bitcoin in like 2014, they would have wiped. I mean, you would have just wiped it all out. Maybe you can't do that though because it was too risky of an asset. But I think Trump's going to get a reserve and get like 5% of the supply. They're saying there's an act for it. It'd be crazy. Drones trying to detect a serious threat. This seems more plausible because if this were just a new tech rollout, they would tell us. Yeah, so I guess the working theory is that maybe there's a dirty bomb somewhere in New Jersey, I guess. But they're saying, why did I also see something where they said they were flying all over the country? Because I thought it was contained in New Jersey, but they're saying no, now it's in New York, it's in other states as well. But yeah, maybe it is, it makes sense for if there's some type of explosive or something. It would make sense because you wouldn't really want to tell the public because that would start a bit of a panic. Me and my family are gathered around the fireplace watching my stream. I'm your family's Roosevelt. I need to do a speech. This is a historic thing right here. I'll do a speech at some point. I gotta write something. Bitcoin is the answer to our financial problems. An investment into Bitcoin is the answer. A significant investment where you buy 5% of the supply, and then you basically, once you buy 5% of the supply, you control Bitcoin. And well, you don't control it, but you have way more of a supply than any other country. And so you have the power with crypto. I'd also buy Ethereum honestly as well, but I mean Ethereum people don't like Ethereum very much. Buy Solana instead. Imagine they bought Solana. No, they would only buy Bitcoin. Can't wait for Doge to be put into action. Yeah, it'll be good because there's going to be transparency with whatever they do with Doge, and Elon's really good with the propaganda and exposing the ineptness of the government spending. And I'm sure there's going to be a number of examples that were just blown. Our minds are blown in terms of the amount of money that's been wasted, preferably like wasted over the past 4 years, but probably government programs dating back 40, 50 years that do nothing, that have really, they're just going to be uncovered by Musk and the transparency with him posting everything on X. So it'll be interesting to see what they end up doing with that. But I'm guessing that's what it's probably going to be. It's going to be a lot of, did you know this? Did you know the amount of money we spent on that? Did you know how useless this was? I mean, look at education and how backwards that's gone. You're going to watch The Great Gatsby? Yeah, I watched that movie in like my 10th or 11th grade class, I want to say. The Great Gatsby with Leonardo DiCaprio. Trump wasn't kidding about the enemy from within. Well, that's the number one enemy. And it's not like people, they're like, oh, how could you say that about fellow Americans? When you have a country that's this powerful, that's located in such an advantageous spot, meaning we're surrounded by oceans, and we've got Canada, who's not really a threat at all. They have to be our friends. And then, I mean, preferably we would like another Canada to the, even though they're liberal, another Canada to our south, but Mexico's not a threat. They're just annoying in terms of their incompetence. It allows people to come to the United States because they're trying to flee Mexico. But just with how advantageous our position is in the world, of course, the number one threat is going to be within us destroying ourselves, because it's just, what do you do with the United States? They're an absolute juggernaut, and it's not even just the economy. The military is just ridiculous, but with the spending, but it's also the location. I mean, it's everything. So of course, the thing that would destroy the United States would be some inner civil war or something happening from within to where we weaken ourselves on, I mean, technically, it would be on purpose if it's a civil war, but it comes down to just that internal governmental battle. that drone McDonald's delivery to Chris Christie. Yeah, did you see what I said? Hold on. Oh, look, I'm following myself. It's like that meme of Obama putting the medal around himself when you follow yourself. Big fella catches a stray. Yeah, because, I mean, Chris Christie's just randomly sitting there on a Saturday, and then he sees this on his timeline. Oh, boy. This is... Chris Christie's he's got some good muscle. He's got some muscle, man. I like, he's on Ozempic. He's got, like, what is that thing? That's an extra bread, man. You ordered that extra bread. That's nice. Those drones, man. I gotta have a drone bring me Chick-fil-A or something. That's why we're too fat. We need drones to bring us all the food. No, it's gonna be like, this is what's gonna happen. We're so fat and we just hate leaving our houses. And then the DoorDash people are like, you know what? We're not doing this anymore. Fuck these losers. We're not gonna feed them, and so the drones have to bring us the food. Bring the drone in, and you just hear this outside. It's creating like because the drones deliver the Amazon packages now. But yeah, this is the future of America. We need this. But just make sure there's like an Ozempic pill stuffed in there somewhere. Take your Ozempic. Take your Ozempic. Everyone. What didn't RFK? I mean, that's obvious. Ozempic is not. You shouldn't do Ozempic. You should lose weight the easy way. Who would you rather be the general in World War III? Jeb Bush or Chris Christie? Mike Pence. Mike Pence is a hard ass. I'm just kidding, but Jeb Bush or Chris Christie? I think Christie can throw his weight around a little bit in the war room a little bit better. Jeb would kind of get bitched out by some of the commanders. I think Jeb would be like a little bitch and just you have to command the room. I had a Big Mac yesterday. Dude, I never had Big Macs. I just, whenever it's such like a 10-year-old thing. I mean, I never been to McDonald's in like 3 years, but whenever I went to McDonald's, I'd always get chicken nuggets. Cause that's what like I always get when I was younger is like chicken nuggets, sweet and sour sauce. Boomers will think it's real. That is a problem with boomers. It's a problem with AI. Dude, there were some AI things, I'm not gonna be able to find it, but like they'll like screenshot stuff from Facebook and they'll be like, whoa, like it was like a bunch of soldiers marching and they were holding like a big Trump statue or something in downtown New York City. And they were like, whoa, this is amazing. And it's just clearly AI. But there is some better AI. This is kind of a shitty AI because like you can tell, but there's AI where you can't tell. But mainly the only AI I've seen that's like super accurate to where you can't tell if it's fake or real, they're not really like funny images. They're just like portraits. So like if they do a really close zoom in face or something, like it'll look real. But if you ask them to do something like this, I think they'll definitely eventually be able to make something like this look really real. But right now it still looks, because they just get some of the details wrong. Like, what's going on with this? I mean, what is this, like a fillet of fish? Like, did you order a half fillet of fish combo, like extra large? It's like a fillet of fish thing, fish at the bottom, and then you got the sandwich. And you got like extra lettuce on there as well. I mean, I don't know. I ain't fat, I'm big boned. Well, what is that? What Whoopi Goldberg said? Trump has no shits left to give. I know, just tweeting this. But the thing is, they can't even do it. Like, what are they going to do? Trump just shut them all up because he won. Everyone is on Ozempic. It's crazy. There's a lot of listen, Ozempic is definitely something to where if anyone loses weight, it's like it's Ozempic, but we don't know that. McDonald's, people still eat there. Well, obviously. Did you see that boomer watching his grandson play GTA and he told her that GTA was the... Yeah, I saw that. The grandmother. Dude, you want to know something? GTA 6, when is the new trailer coming out on that? They've been talking about the new trailer because the GTA 6 trailer number 1 was released like a year ago, and now they're saying when is the next one going to be released? I have a GTA 6 meme coin. We need the trailer to come out. It'll go up. Do you think Trump actually asked them to post that? I think this is definitely probably Trump seeing this somewhere else and saying post it because it'd be funny. I don't think they would post this for him. It just seems like, you know, like it seems one of those posts where it can be construed as like negative, so they wouldn't really do that. The ones that they post for him are probably very just presidential. I thought Ozempic was $1,000 a week. They probably knowing the healthcare system, it's probably like 5,000. They're like, you know what, we can price gouge these people. They want this magic drug. We're gonna price gouge the fuck out of them. I don't know how much it is. I mean, it probably doesn't cost much at all, but they just price gouge, like most drugs. Did Trump really say we should shoot down the drones? No, I don't think he ever said that. He just said, like, we should find out what they are. I wonder, was this the Butler rally? I don't think so. That was it. Maybe this was from 2016 with that sunset. I don't think I remember that from this cycle. Must have been Truth Social, he said it or something. Yeah, Genti's trending. He lost the Heisman. Rip. Navy beat Army. Army was supposed to win that game. Army's supposed to be good this year. Drones now being reported over the U.S. Capitol. What in the hell?
They're hovering.
They kind of look wide too.
Look at the lights changing.
It's got to be a dirty bomb. I don't know.
It is moving.
No, it's not.
It looks like it.
Yeah, but they're not moving. That's an airplane.
It's
Hang on.
right above the Capitol.
Capitol building.
Hang on, let me zoom out a little bit. Yeah, that's an airplane.
But the one in the middle, that one.
That's an airplane. You can see it moving.
Yeah.
The one to the right, or over here,
The one going behind the Capitol building is not an airplane.
or over here. That's an airplane. Okay.
Yeah, over there is, but look at
Yeah,
that one.
and I'm saying, like, when you look to the left of the Capitol,
That one's
those are not moving.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. They're here.
Can we go back in the car?
They're here, Ella.
Those are planes landing at Reagan Airport. Right. Big Pharma, Big Food will go scorched earth, making sure RFK doesn't get confirmed by any means necessary. You think RFK is the one they go after? I feel like they've got one shot when it comes to the nominees. Originally, it looked like it was going to be Hegseth, but that was mainly a media blitz. The question is, I mean, maybe it is RFK because of Big Pharma. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, the RFK is already talking about doing things that are going to limit their sales. I think it might be Tulsi as well, but they can't go after all of them. They're gonna some of them are going to get confirmed because it's like you go after all of them. It's not going to. You need to focus your energy on one of them to not confirm. That's what I think. Why are these so common in South Africa? You know, this South Africa has a horrible crime problem. Horrible. South Africa, the nicer houses have to put spikes on their, like they'll put up a fence around their entire house and they put up spikes and then barbed wire, but like they'll have literal spikes to try and people from stop, to try and get people to stop climbing into that up and over and trying to steal. It's really bad. What's going on in South Africa? A terrible crime problem. They got really pissed off at this photo. They're like, oh, it's not real. I mean, that's a real photo of Trump. They're like, it doesn't look like him. They got some good lighting on him. The hogs at the View need to visit Luigi. Well, Luigi is there was a fake report that I'm not gonna say that, but yeah, it's that whole thing. It's like the liberal hero Luigi. It's kid's a twat. You see some of the things he posts. It's just like he's a wannabe philosopher. It's you see it from those people now. A lot of those people say the same shit. The worst stadium in the U.S. Yeah, what a terrible stadium this is. Look at all that. They eliminated seating. You see, so there used to be all seating going around here. They took it out, but the supports are still there. They didn't take the supports out. And then all these big boxes, like you see these red boxes, that's also previous seating. But I guess they didn't want to cover it up with tarps. So they covered it up with these like box structures going around. What an abomination that is. Talk about crooks. Yeah, I mean it's hard to talk about him. They won't say. I saw his records or whatever, all of his grades that they got. I don't know if it was a Freedom of Information Act, but somebody requested it and they got his grades. Crooks. But yeah, the crook stuff is so insane. If you guys don't know, they've just totally memory hold it. It's gone. Nobody knows any information about the kid, really. I haven't heard any actual revelations on the story in since maybe late July, 2 weeks after it happened. And the only thing I remember was, he's got 3 phones and they connect overseas. And they were like, well, is he talking to someone from DC? Because there was a phone that was traced that was talking to him from DC. And the whole thing is just so bad. And there's zero general public knowledge on it. And eventually, that's going to be another conspiracy because they just don't say anything. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense for that kid to get to that position at all. It's inexcusable. Game should only be played at Lincoln Financial. Yeah, it really should. Lincoln Financial's a good stadium. Was Army Navy at FedEx? Yeah, they rotate them. I think they only rotate between those 2 stadiums every other year, if I have that correct. Lincoln Financial and then FedEx. It's not called FedEx anymore though. They don't have that sponsorship. I don't know what it's called. I think it's just called Commander Stadium now. Opinion on Christmas versus Halloween. I mean, it's one of those things to where it's like you kind of like Halloween better because Halloween's leading into a really good part of the year. Christmas, once it's done, it's pretty much miserable for 2 straight months. You got to kind of strategize around the future and not just the specific holiday. So that's why I would say Halloween is better because you get the nice fall, you get the football, you get all of it, and then it leads into Thanksgiving and Christmas as opposed to Christmas. Once it's done, yeah, you got New Year's. It's all right, but you're leading into the abyss there when you get into January, February, especially if you're, in the cold climates. I mean, I don't mind being in cold climates, honestly, but she's been drinking. Yeah, there's going to be stuff that comes out about Kamala. Kamala's a complete mess right now. I mean, we've seen 3 videos of her and she seems drunk in every single one of them. I'm not trying to overestimate, over embellish it. She's legit drunk. And there's probably going to be a big story about how she got really sad after she lost and she spiraled, and you just know that's coming. They play it in Baltimore sometimes. What is that, M&T Bank? Can't believe you picked Tennessee to score single digits against OSU. Yeah, that was kind of a troll, if I'm going to be honest. But, look, it's just typical Ohio State where they're going to beat Tennessee and then people are going to say it's a good season. Yay. It's a good season. They beat Tennessee and then they lose again. Yeah, there's the Heisman. I'm surprised Hunter was not at 99%, legit. There was just no way. There was no way Genty was going to win it based off of other odds. On Polymarket, I'm surprised. College football champion, Oregon trading at 21 cents. Oregon and Texas, top 2. We'll have to see. Global elections. Poland has a presidential election May 18th. That's a new one that I didn't see before. Poland's going to elect a Republican. Live stream for Inauguration Day. Yeah, I'll do a live stream for Inauguration Day. New Year's Eve is underrated. I mean, New Year's Eve is kind of pretty typical what you would expect. I feel like it just gets overshadowed by Christmas. Opinion on Georgia damn Bulldogs. They're streaky. They might be better off with Stockton, honestly. To me, I think Georgia is kind of in a no-lose scenario. This year has not gone the best for them. But they get the bye, so they get rest. And they've already won 2 titles in the last 4 years. That you're playing with house money right now. if you're Georgia University. Zuckerberg is full MAGA now. I wouldn't buy that. It's just because Trump won. The IQ 6900 coin, Moon for me. Is that even a coin? I'm not even sure that's a coin. I never heard of that, man. Is that seriously in the same meta? Oh, it's on Solana? Damn, you got... What is that coin? Oh, I think I might have seen this before. Is it a stock to meme, though? Pump Fund Solana coin. I don't think it's a stock to meme, though. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, like there's so many of them. It's hard to keep track of them. Do you think Doge will get rid of TSA? I think that's going to be pretty hard. You know, something I saw about what TSA is doing is they're taking your picture and you have to opt out of having your picture taken every single time when you go through it. So it just keeps getting more and more. They just keep infringing more and more, and it's like they force you to opt out of it, having your picture taken every time you pass through airport security. Who's the next liberal to take a red pill? I mean, a lot of that's, you know, a grift, and the fact that Trump won, so now they're all doing it. I don't know. I don't know how long that'll last with some of those people that are starting to. Dude, these people are just...
What are you holding space for right now?
The United Healthcare CEO shooter. I'm holding space for, as most people I know are, we're holding space for those eyebrows, that body, the abs.
What are you holding?
What does that even mean? Holding space for? It's like this liberal weird lingo. And now that might be like a red carpet, like dress, New York dress Met Gala. Remember that shit? That's some elitist shrine. You have Texas on upset watch. Clemson has been dead and buried like 6 times already this season, so they are playing with house money. Texas and Quinn Ewers have way more pressure on them. Well, I agree with you there, and yeah, I think it'll be a closer game than expected. That's why I have Clemson covering. So I agree with you there. 16 days to say Mog. That's never going to happen. That's still on there. Why don't you go bet on that then, man? You got to go bet on that. What a weird thing to have. But that was like will Trump create a Bitcoin reserve in the first 100 days? 34% chance. It seems pretty quickly to do that, but it's possible. Yeah, they got the new fart coin. Come on. Hawk Tua in jail, 2% chance. Pump Fund banned in the United States. They're not going to do that now with Trump. Didn't they ban Pump Fund in the UK? Remember Tim Walz? Yeah, I saw Tim Walz. He's like, he's trying to brag about being the poorest VP. It's weird. They should make a second Freedom Tower. It just wouldn't make sense based off of how they made the first one. When you have a tower like that looks futuristic and it's glass, the design of it doesn't really allow for a second tower to look aesthetically pleasing next to it. It's just a little bit too complex. See, if you have like a twins buildings, you want them to be very simplistic. It just looks better than two really complex identical buildings. And also, I think the building is really fat at its base. I don't think it would work with two. It would just, you know, with the glass, it just almost looks. I mean, I would have said they just do the glass twin towers, just rebuild the twin towers, but with glass. You know, and you still have the tridents and everything, but then there's glass, so it looks more futuristic than the towers did. But there's really good renderings of glass twin towers. But obviously they didn't do that. Look, they're not going to do that because it's just people are scarred from it. You think SMU will shock Penn State? Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Penn State's kind of like a fraudulent team, so that wouldn't surprise me either. Like, who has Penn State really beaten? Would it really be shocking if SMU came in and was like, it was like a tie game in the fourth quarter? All the conservatives in Ben Shapiro's chat destroyed him for the CEO situation. It's not left versus right. It's rich versus poor. Both of them are evil. Well, yeah, but that's kind of like the whole, and you know, it's not a popular take, but it's people that they do this eye for an eye thing where they think it's morally justified to go murder someone because you think they're bad and you perceive them as a bad person. So it's like, I mean, I guess. And look, the healthcare system's it's a total mess, but you know, when you allow behavior, I don't know, man. It's just like, but like, I don't know what Shapiro's take was actually, you know, was it just the simple, he shouldn't have done that take and they went off on him for it? I know he got like, 30K dislikes. Whoa, 50, what is this? 50, what is this, North Korean money? 50. What if they are Russian drones and U.S. government doesn't want to say it because U.S. drones are in Russia? It's espionage rules exposing each other ruins it for both. Yeah, I mean, anything's possible, man. I don't know about that though. I don't think they would allow Russia. I don't think U.S. drones would be in Russia at this point. I mean, I know they're helping Ukraine, but I'm not sure U.S. would really escalate it. It's more of a reaction, and that's what NATO is saying, why they're allowing the missiles to be fired, because Russia did it. But now Russia's escalated even more. I bet Trump would win 312 electoral votes. And oh, you bet. Yeah. You made $900 off of 50. Well, that's because it's very, if you predict the exact number of votes, then yeah, you're going to get really good odds, dude. Really good. Because it's very hard to do that. Ohio State covers against Tennessee. I wonder what the split is in terms of that money. It's probably heavily onto Tennessee. It's just nobody has any trust in Ryan Day at all. Yeah, there's no way a Trump coin's gonna reach a. There's no way a Trump's coin's gonna reach $1 billion. Unfortunately, I thought it was gonna happen too. Not in 2024. Is it smart to follow Alex Becker? I don't really follow him. Can you do a proper video on altcoins like XRP? Well, it wouldn't be XRP, man. Come on. Come on with XRP. We got to stop. The XRP lovers, man, it's a tale as old as time. It really is. DG, can you appear on Joe Rogan or America First? I don't. I mean, I don't. What do you? When it comes to Rogan, I would say you got to be a little bit more famous, or you got to have an in with Rogan. Off topic, but do celebs sell their souls and worship the devil for fame? And why do you think people still worship them knowing? Well, because a lot of people think it's a conspiracy. That's why, dude. A lot of people don't believe that. That's why they still worship them. I mean, who knows, man? Who really? God only knows what celebrities actually do with all this Diddy stuff coming out. I'm sure that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, because you think these people like they get worshipped, and like what's going on behind the scenes? Thoughts on Pi Network? Is it on here? I mean, they're not even gonna give me a supply or anything. I'd have to look at the statistics on this coin. I don't know, man. This thing's old, bro. This thing's old. I don't. Come on. This thing's too old for me, honestly. Thing hasn't. I mean, I don't know if this price is even accurate. This thing hasn't done anything either. But I'd have to look at it on. Oh, this is not even the right one. Here, you guys can see my watch list. We'll do the stocks. Stock to meme. I don't have that IQ on here. I don't even know what that is, though. Imagine an SMU and Boise State Fiesta Bowl with the winner playing Georgia with a backup QB. Winner to play for the Natty. Yeah, well, looks like Georgia's going to face Notre Dame from what I see. But I know what you're saying. I mean, yeah, Boise State might be able to. But, I mean, Boise State has a bye. Tim Jones, what's good, man? At what point on is Ryan Day getting fired at Ohio State, and do you think Bill Belichick will last at North Carolina? Well, I mean, isn't Bill Belichick's contract set up to where his son's just going to take over for him? I mean, that's kind of a ridiculous. I mean, I think he'll probably do like 2-3 years, maybe not long at all, maybe 1 year. The way that contract is set up, I would not really expect him to last long. I think he's probably going to try the NFL again after a year or two, but who knows? Maybe he doesn't want to. But I mean, like the recruiting in college. I don't know. At North Carolina, it might be a little bit more relaxed for Belichick because there's not really an onus on winning, and you can kind of just pluck players out of the portal, and you already have the whole clout of being one of like the greatest coach in the NFL the past 30 years. But Ryan Day getting fired, I don't know if he will, man. I think if they lose a bad game to Tennessee, he'll probably get fired. But who's the? No, I think the replacement would be Dillingham. But it's a little bit late. Like, you want to start the searches. But I mean, I guess the carousel is still we're still waiting for the carousel to happen. But I mean, some of these positions are already being filled. How deep do you think Penn State will make it in the playoff? Well, they've got a very good draw, so I think they'll probably win 2 games. They'll win the game against SMU, and then they'll beat Boise State, I think, is who they face. Dude, check out the Grinch. I saw that meme. That was a funny meme, but come on. No Bitcoin on your list? Dude, Bitcoin is, I mean, what am I going to do with Bitcoin? You can get like a 1x, get like a 1.5x. Come on. Bitcoin, I mean, Bitcoin is it's the daddy. There's no doubt about it, but it's just too high in terms of market cap. I mean, what is it at? It's over. It's definitely over. It's over 2 trillion now. I wonder what they did track its market cap back here. It's funny, its market cap was still in the billions. In 2014, its market cap was still in the billions. That's crazy. It does look pretty nice. Over 100K, that looks nice. Department of Energy. What are you talking about? Department of Government Efficiency is rising? Or is that a new coin? Department of Energy Efficiency? There's too many of them, man. SMU Clemson moneyline parlay. That's a donation. You're not gonna win that. Favorite bowl game? LSU Baylor is going to be a good bowl game. I mean, I think obviously Ohio State Tennessee should be, like, if you talk about the playoff and the first round, Notre Dame Indiana might, although I don't know, it could end up being a crappy game. But I'm Colorado BYU, because Colorado is going to play all their players, and BYU, we know they're gonna go try hard, and so that'll be a good game. Isn't that the Alamo Bowl? Colorado BYU. Big fan of yours. I appreciate it. Take a look at this carrot. Nice little carrot. Oh, this is a new coin. Yeah, I like newer coins, I'll tell you that. Like, well, what's the vesting schedule on this, bro? Fully diluted, it's $500 million. I'd have to look at the vesting schedule. I have heard about this before. I don't know, man. What's that? 79 million right now. Drones are possibly looking for nuclear material. Yeah, that's really a growing theory that people were telling me about tonight. It looks like there could be like they got some type of an alert or something that the government did, that there's a hot bomb, or that, they need to look for something explosive. And so now they've got all these drones surveying and trying to detect stuff, but they don't want to cause a panic, so they're not going to tell the public. I saw Illinois lost to Tennessee. That was a tough loss. Tennessee, the #1 ranked team. Look up Department of Government Efficiency. Yeah, that coin hasn't been doing that great recently. It might be. I mean, I'm not going to buy it because it's like, if you miss it, you miss it, Oh, it doesn't even show up on. Yeah, this is a good entry. This is a good entry, I would say. Not financial advice. But something like this. I don't know how I missed this. This is inexcusable how I missed this. Like, this is crazy. This is like, but you can't dwell on it. But the same thing is, I could show you a screenshot of me buying MogCoin, buying like $2 million worth of MogCoin back at Christmas, or right before Christmas, in 2023, a year ago, and then I sold it. And I made like a 10x, but it's like, Vivek, I know, I saw that, Vivek. That thing pumped immediately, then it tanked. But so it might be like it's probably under a million. See, there's two of them. I think this is the main, hold on. Man, they've got very similar market caps. This is annoying. I'm sure one of them's on Ethereum, one of them's on Solana. The one on Solana, I think, is the main one. Now, this one's on, I do like the Ethereum coins a bit better. This just got added. Yeah, but this is the copycat, I think. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, this is what happens to these coins, though. They just immediately floor, and then you're in a total accumulation mode for a while. But I mean, the thing that it's not on here, the GTA coin. I'm trying to wait for the GTA trailer. Drones are an American false flag to distract people from looking at our overseas endeavors in violation of international laws. Well, I mean, they're violating international laws daily. People, our military is. Do they really need drones? I think this is a serious thing. They're not going to fly drones around for a week and a half. People say it's a distraction. I don't know. The actual one is Ethereum. Well, no, the Ethereum one I think is brand new. The actual one was a pump fund coin. Or is it seriously Ethereum? Oh, you might be right. Yeah, you might be right. It might actually be Ethereum. The actual one might be Ethereum. You really shouldn't. I hate when there's like two versions of a coin. Do you think Trump had misses with his cabinet picks? I feel he had misses with his cabinet at the same time. I'm sure the picks we wanted wouldn't get confirmed by the Rhino Senate. Yeah, it's always a give and take with that. When it comes to the cabinet picks, you just want, with Trump's victory and his political leverage, you just want to de-Rhino it as much as possible. Do you think Indiana's going to beat Notre Dame? I think it's possible. It's hard to know what to make out of it. But to me, Notre Dame, that's a really good matchup for them in terms of, Indiana's not that talented. You're at home. You don't really have to expose yourself the way you would against a team that's uber talented, like throwing the ball, because Notre Dame really struggles to throw the ball. And they've had such a weird schedule where it's like, you don't really face anyone good, so how do I even know if you can throw it? But, the same thing happened with Indiana, except for when they faced Ohio State. But I think Indiana is more complete than Notre Dame. Notre Dame struggles to throw. Indiana does not. But Notre Dame's at home, and they've got a more talented roster, so we'll see. So you think about the dirty bomb detection theory with the drones? It seems like a viable thing. It seems pretty viable. It seems like that's what it could be, and they don't want to tell the public to create a panic. Indiana versus Notre Dame is low-key the best matchup. Yeah, it's in-state. I think the Ohio State-Tennessee game might be a flop. It might be a little bit lower scoring and maybe more boring. Perhaps a colder game. A lot of them are going to be cold games, but Syracuse crushing Washington State. Syracuse finally got ranked with McCord. They face Washington State. Yeah, Washington State is not good. Washington State had a very easy schedule this year. There were some rumors that some players were going to opt out for Syracuse. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that's not true. Syracuse ranked 22 to end the year. Yeah, because they beat Miami, that's why. They are Pentagon-controlled anti-missile defense systems. They have been deployed as a message to Russia after Putin successfully tested a hypersonic ballistic missile reportedly able to defeat NATO defenses. He's saying they're testing this to put fear in the eye of Russians. Who knows? Thank you for these for the membership, man. Do a video on the Senate renomination of Caroline Crenshaw, next week's super anti-crypto Democrat. Yeah, we got to get her out if she's anti-crypto. You want to see Bama play Montana State in January in Bozeman? Montana State. Yeah, but I mean, what would the purpose of that game be? No one would play in that game. I do want to see like FCS teams host FBS teams. I think that'd be kind of fun. But they would never do that because it's all about money. You think the drones are ours and it's just to cover up Biden pardoning Preds? Yeah, I saw that too. He's pardoning a bunch of people, including that one, what was it, a Chinese kid or whatever. Why would anyone be anti-crypto? Because of, it's like the Wild West with crypto and the scams and stuff, that's why. And a lot of it is just, I mean, it's like, look at meme coins, for example. It's all, it's pretty crazy, crypto. Your pops loves my videos. He recently passed away. Well, Mike, I'm sorry for your loss. Are you streaming the Indiana Notre Dame game? I don't know, man. I might just stream the Ohio State Tennessee game, honestly. I know the Indiana Notre Dame game's on Friday, the Ohio State game's on Saturday. Anyone play COD 6? I don't play any of the new Call of Duties. The Call of Duty looks the exact same as Cold War. The exact same. I don't know what happened to the Call of Duties. I mean, it's just, people just say it's nostalgia, I guess, but that's what happens to a franchise when you have 6 games. It's going to get the shit. I mean, it's just going to get, like, they made the exact same thing as Cold War from what I saw. Mr. JD, what's up, man? What am I doing? I mean, probably not much, honestly. Not much. Know any good ad blockers? Yeah, there is a really good ad blocker. I forget the name of it. It's not. I don't even know what ad blocker I have right now, but uBlock. I think it's called uBlock. That's the ad blocker I'm using. This ad blocker is not very good from what I've seen. It doesn't really block shit, but the uBlock one has been blocking things. What do you think the president-elect's perspective? So what do I think Trump's perspective will be on Asia, Japan, Taiwan? Well, this is what I heard Trump say about Taiwan. You know, it's full America first. So you look at the situation with Taiwan and China, and Trump's like, listen, we'll defend them, but we need to get something in return. Which obviously, Taiwan probably didn't want to hear, but I think you know what was it the first time with Trump? We're gonna maintain our relationships with those countries in the Pacific states, but it's gonna be more geared towards give and take rather than just give. But I mean, it is interesting what Trump said about Taiwan and wanting something back from them. They are a major chips manufacturer. That's why Biden did the CHIPS Act. But you know what? Even that CHIPS Act that liberals are bragging about, come to think of it, and you do research, they haven't even gotten that off of the ground. They've done like 1% of the manufacturing. It's just even when they pass something that's good and bipartisan, they're just so slow to move on it, this administration. Brave browser. Really, Brave browser? I mean, I just use Chrome, honestly, but yeah, I have YouTube Premium. I do have it. No, I agree. I'd say get YouTube Premium. There's no way I'd sit through ads again. But like on the computer, on your phone, you need, or on an iMac or an iPad, you need YouTube Premium for sure. Trump is going to pivot from Ukraine to Taiwan. Well, I think the whole world will if Trump's able to solve the situation and get some type of peace agreement. That's the whole world's just going to pivot to China, Taiwan. Just kind of obviously that's what's going to happen. Two of your local colleges have logo disputes against each other. Drake University is accusing what is DMACC of using the same D logo. I don't know about that situation. Drake University. Drake University is in Iowa, correct? Yeah, I'll have to do some research on Caroline Crenshaw, the renomination. This looks like it's going to be a problem if she's really anti-crypto. What is she? Is she Elizabeth Warren level anti-crypto? That's the question. You use Brave browser, ExpressVPN. Yeah, I have a VPN service I use, but I don't really use it all that much because a lot of the times when I'm like searching stuff, it's like you put you put it in certain countries, it'll restrict you, but I use it for some things, the VPNs. I think it costs like $50 a year. Des Moines. Florida State biggest losers? Yeah, they have to be. I mean, there's not a bigger loser. You go 2-10, it's crazy. Biggest loser, Florida State. I mean, I would say Michigan, although they beat Ohio State, so I don't know anymore. 50 North Korean dollars. Can Trump do something about BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, where most of the DEI and ESG corporations stem from? They have too much power. Well, I think a lot of that, a lot of it is so controlled through money. It's very hard to crack into that because none of it's done democratically. But I think the change in the American culture is what will help against DEI and ESG and things like that. The people have to change their view, and I think they slowly are, but that's what it's going to require. It's going to require a rejection of that type of, those type of hiring practices and things like that. And I guess to a smaller degree it is. I mean, you are seeing some companies leave the woke stuff, and they don't use DEI anymore. I've seen that. But yeah, it is a major problem. It's just how much money they control. Like, how do you crack that? NordVPN. I think yeah, Nord is good. The silence from the feds is disturbing. People need to know if they're in danger. I know it is disturbing. This is like a crazy precedent to set. It really is. You are correct on that. People do at this point. I mean, it's like 3 or 4 days goes by. People need to know what they actually know, because they obviously know. Like, this is, and they just lie to people. Oh, it's security. We can't tell you it's a security thing. Purdue went 1-11. Yeah, but there was no actual. There's no actually expectations for Purdue. They had a tough schedule too. Silence from LeBron is concerning. Yeah, dude, what's going on with LeBron? That's a crazy. I mean, who knows? He has taken some time off before, but the timing of it is just crazy. Kyle McCord finished 10th. Yeah, I saw the full list with yeah, hilarious. YouTube Music is free. With premium, it demolishes the other music apps because you can add YouTube videos to your music playlists. So all the killer versions take your playlist to the next level. Well, man, is that like that's like an advertisement? I think we just got an employee from YouTube. That's a nice. I appreciate the paid advertisement. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I have the premium for YouTube. You think Bill Clinton is bisexual? Yeah, you saw that clip. You saw the same clip I saw. I'm assuming that went around like yesterday. I mean, I don't know, but I saw that clip. Will ABC fire Whoopi Goldberg from The View? Oh, that's a DEI mess if that happened. That would be a lawsuit waiting to happen for racism if she got fired. They wouldn't dare do that. They're gonna have to fire George Stephanopoulos though. I'll tell you what. Look into The View if you really want to sue them for defamation. The View's probably said some shit that. Why is USC football so terrible? Well, they had a huge step up going to the Big Ten. They had some really close. I think they had like 5 or 6 one-score losses, and their defense is always shaky. I mean, the defense got better this year. Miller Moss wasn't as good as people thought. They didn't have a great run game. I mean, they're a talented team, but Lincoln Riley, he's been a flop there so far. One of their growth strategies. I know I started reading it and I was like, this is a script. Holy shit. DG is all I know you as. What is your real name, Patrick? You liked and shared my stream. I appreciate that. Coaster Gamer Guy Cats, I appreciate that. Ohio State shouldn't have let McCord go. Yeah, McCord. I mean, they said you're not guaranteed the starting job. You're going to have to compete. They did basically push him out. I know Ohio State fans will say no, they didn't, but they basically did. They were like, you need to compete for the starting job. I mean, the dude already started. You know, it's like when you're a QB, you want to be guaranteed the starting job. I know it's like, oh, you should fight for it, but. Why do you think Kari Lake lost considering Trump had a significant lead in Arizona? Just curious on your perspective. If you've already done a video on that. No, I haven't done a video specifically on the Kari Lake loss. I've touched on it in other live streams. Number one, she got no funding from McConnell. She got zero funding. So that doesn't help. And number two, she was just always, you know, the people in Arizona, in terms of the independents, just don't like her, which is kind of strange. Like, she is just and I'm sure there's other things like at the micro level, the local level in Arizona, they could probably say the state level, but it's like she's just a MAGA mouthpiece. Why would she perform 5 points worse than Trump? Like if she was a rhino, like, yeah, you could understand. All right, they like Trump. He wins the state by 5.5 points, but then she lose. But it's kind of strange to me. But they, you know, that whole thing goes back to Hobbs and what happened when she lost to her by like 100 votes, or it was 100 votes, but it was a very, very small amount. And I guess how she handled it, people in Arizona didn't like that. And they said, oh, she criticized the people of Arizona or something. So it's like, but it was always going to be an uphill battle for Lake. But like when you win that state by 5.5 points, you've got to get that seat. You're going to the Packers at Seahawks game tomorrow. Who do you think wins? Packers at Seahawks. That's a good game, dude. I think the Seahawks at home win that game. Thoughts on West Virginia bringing back Rich Rodriguez? Yeah, that was weird to me. Rich Rodriguez, I thought was like a bad coach, but I don't know. Did he have a good stint somewhere that I don't know about? Trump removing daylight savings times. Who knows what he's doing? I mean, I thought originally it was going to be, well, no, you were going to put the daylight savings time in place year round. Apparently it's very costly or something, you know, I don't know why but it's like very costly to change the clocks twice. But there's a lot of debates about that, dude. Really, in all different, like, should it be fully daylight savings? Should it be fully standard? Should we keep it how it is? And then just change the day on when it changes to Friday instead of Saturday to give people more time to acclimate to the time change. I mean, there's all this different stuff. I mean, they've been trying to change it. They changed it back in the 70s. People hated it. So then they went back to what we have now where it's staggered and it changes twice. I don't think there's like necessarily 100% right way to do it. I mean, it seems like 70% of the people want it changed, but I don't think people really understand. It's like when you change it, it's either one way or the other. It's not like an obvious thing to where it just gets changed. Because you're either going to have to stay on standard or you're going to have to stay on DST. Thoughts on the Heisman? It was so obvious. It's such a, like, you would think this Heisman would be very close, but the betting sites made it to where it was so obvious. Like, if you look at week 9 or week 10 of the season, Travis Hunter was like minus 1,200 to win. So it was never really, to me, it should have been a lot closer, but. Army's QB was 7th in the Heisman. Yeah, he had like, what did he have, like 30 rushing touchdowns or something? Army got dominated. Yeah, they did. And now they got to face a different team like Louisiana Tech because this is how fucked up college football is. Marshall, who went like 10-3, they won their conference. They fired their head coach for whatever reason after going 10-3. and then they lost every single player, basically like 40 players to the portal. And so they said, we can't play. We can't field the team. So they had to back out of a bowl game. They were 10-3. They backed out of a bowl game. They're like, we can't, the entire roster's in the portal. We can't. And so a team that won 10 games cannot compete in a bowl. That's how, like, you want to talk about there's zero leadership within college football. Everything that's going on there is just such a total mess. Oh my goodness. I can't believe college football got to where it did and just how uncontrolled it is and how they didn't see this coming. And you've got a team at 10-3 not a lot being able to compete because they lost too many players, like 40 players to the portal. Who do you think wins, Detroit versus Buffalo? I think Detroit's just better and they're at home. I mean, Buffalo, they're just Josh Allen. I mean, yeah, they've got an okay supporting cast, but they just don't have enough talent around him. I mean, you would need more to beat a team like Detroit on the road. How do you think the Bills stadium will age over the years? I think it's there's nothing special about it. I think it'll age fine though. I mean, people are going to always be pissed because it's outdoors and there's that factor. The stadium itself, there's nothing really, again, special about it, but I think it'll age fine. I don't think it'll age bad. Really, pretty much any stadium they build now I don't think it's going to age, well, we say that, and then the new technology comes along in 30 years, and then I probably shouldn't say that, because that's normally how it works. Like, you see a team building a stadium, it's like, this is state of the art, it's going to last forever, and then 30 years later, it's like, it's obsolete. Do playoff game, I think conference championship games count towards it, not playoff games. Did you catch Tennessee versus Illinois? No, I saw it a few clips though. That's but that's such a good like college basketball game because Illinois is a tough place to play at. That is a tough place, especially in that environment. That's just a great non-conference game. That's why I hate the college basketball tournaments, because the tournaments are in like these neutral site little gyms. Like, do home and homes, do road games. Like, it's just such a great environment. Just Josh Allen, James Cook is great. Yeah, I mean, he's a complimentary piece. Have you seen how good the Chargers defense is? 15.5 points. I didn't know that. Those things aren't stopping hypersonic missiles. What are you talking about? What Alex is saying? Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, there's always going to be a take. This is good. Apple stores in Japan don't lock up their products because their theft rate is so low. High trust society is what they say. Can't imagine what stadiums will look like 50 years from now. All domes, all natural light, all windows. They'll be all domes for sure. Unless it's like a crazy thing where they want to have one outdoor stadium and a good... Like when Miami builds a new stadium, I bet it'll be a dome. It'll be a dome. Bengals defense is horrible, man. Have you seen Washington's design mock for the new stadium that has a moat around it? That was a really old design. They're not going to go with that anymore. That was when they had Schneider as the owner. That design is outdated. Yeah, Adams is really kissing up to Trump now. What is Adams' legal situation? Is he trying to get a pardon from Trump or something? All the 90s and early 2000s stadiums are starting to look outdated. Thinking Bank of America and Nissan were nice. Yeah, Bank of America and Nissan are brutal now. And they're trying to renovate Bank of America. That's a shithole, bro. That cannot be renovated. They're like $800 million. Okay. I still cannot believe they're going to go through with that. And it looks bad. Even the renovation photos look bad. You're going to go and spend 15 more years in that and spend $800 million. What? Because they don't have another area to build the stadium, I guess. You guys, yeah, form a union to get me to do storytime videos again. Yeah, I might do a storytime video on my second channel. Maybe on my second channel. It's just awkward, you know. The Steelers, that's a huge game tomorrow. That's a good 425. I like when there's good 425 games. I do like that. I like the canopy look of Hard Rock. Yeah, but you know in September and October, Hard Rock is brutal. The way the sun comes down onto that stadium, it's horrible. With the humidity there, they're gonna change that, or they're just gonna get a new stadium. Gaming videos. I played COD Zombies. I would play COD Zombies or like COD multiplayer. I should play COD multiplayer. Heisman voting results. Travis Hunter. Well, it looks like Hunter barely won. Hunter won by about 200 points. Genty was second. Gabriel third. Ward fourth. Scadaboo fifth. Closest result since Ingram versus Gerhart. Take the under 42.5 Chiefs Browns. Yeah, I wonder what the weather is tomorrow in Cleveland for that. Probably pretty cold. But the Chiefs they're a defensive team at this point. Low scoring. Yeah. Did Biden never explain why he pardoned the guy who pled guilty to possession of 47,000 illegal photos? Worst pardon ever. I don't think he has. I haven't heard anything. Biden's been radio silent from what I've seen the past week. JB, I don't know, JB. I think maybe. I think possibly. That's a thing. What happens when you get bigger on YouTube? It's like, you know. What do you think of the reports GTA 6 might be woke? I think those are pretty unfounded. They do tweets like that every day for engagement. But that was originally a leak from what I saw with GTA 6 from like 7 or 8 months ago where they said maybe it's woke. But recently there's been nothing that's come out. But then they'll just recycle the same news for the engagement farm. So they'll say, wow, it's going to be woke because a former developer said this. But it's really from like 8 months ago. But I don't think they're going to make GTA. They're like, oh, they're going to treat minorities differently in the way like what you can do. Like you can't, like they're not going to do that. You should play the new campaign trail. Well, what is that? Just a campaign simulator? Favorite non-conference game in college football next year? I would have to think about the teams. I know Ohio State faces Texas. Michigan faces Oklahoma. Alabama faces Wisconsin. Georgia, I don't know who Georgia faces non-conference. Probably Ohio State, Texas. Don't change Trevor. Well, there's going to be different characters, man. There's different characters. People want it to be woke to be able to bitch. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it will. It's an American simulator campaign game, browser game, no download. Remember the political machine? What do you think of the drones? I think there's a number of things it could potentially be. Like the most realistic one is They're trying to sniff for some type of nuclear bomb or something. I don't know. I mean, that's probably what they're doing. But I mean, would they have to tell people about it? I mean, it depends if they think it's a public safety problem. You know, here's an interesting thing. I used to watch Netflix shows when I was younger. When's the last time I've seen it? I watched a Netflix show. It's been like a year, maybe 2 years since I watched a Netflix show. I don't watch Netflix shows anymore. You remember the show You? That used to be a good show. Ozark was a good show. I don't watch shows anymore. I don't know. Thoughts on DST? I really don't have a problem with changing the clocks, but that's not an opinion that's shared by a lot of people. But I think if you're gonna change to one of them, ideally it would be to DST, because you do want more light at night. You know, I mean, you've got people in Boston saying they need to change to the. Is it the Atlantic time zone? They want to move at an hour ahead because the sun sets too early. Am I invested in Tesla? I agree it's better than Bitcoin, so I went a lot bigger and put 300K. You only have 100. Wait, you're talking about you put $300,000 in Tesla? At what price? Because Tesla's gone up recently. Did anyone hear about the girl that banged 100 guys in a day? Yeah, everyone did a video on that, it seems like, bro. There were so many videos on that. That's just, I mean, it's just disgusting, degeneracy. Why not split the difference between DST and standard? Well, that's what it is right now. That's why the clocks change. Did you hear Caitlin Clark speaking? Yeah, that was really bad. It seemed like Caitlin Clark was being forced to say that. She's been bullied a lot by black players during her season. And so you could tell she was forced to say it. So that's why she said like my truth and all these buzzwords and stuff, and they forced her to say it. It was bad. But she didn't seem like she really wanted to. She didn't really want to. She was like, I have to say this or else it's going to be bad, and they're going to foul me really hard and stuff. And so it's like they force her to say this, but I mean, but you're going to be captured. You're in a league with 90% black women. It is what it is. It's I've seen all your coin videos, though. Do you have a method on sniffing scam coins like the Hawk Tuah one? Well, that one is very easy, and really, there's the people that got into that, like the coin tanks so quickly, like within 5 hours. I mean, the chances of you even getting hit with something like the only thing I can say, like, that coin had a pre-sale. Immediately when a meme coin has a pre-sale, don't buy it. If the coin has, even if it's just at launch, any big time celebrity coin, do not buy. And honestly, ideally, when it comes to coins in general, you want them to, meme coins, you want them to be out for like 4 or 5 months, or at least a few months to have price action. But the barrier to entry in terms of the meme coins, when you look, I mean, they're pretty much all, because they have to be competitive, that you have to buy them. So they're all going to have 0% buy sell tax. Ideally, most of them, the wallets are going to be spread out. Like, as long as you know which ones to look at, and it's not like every single meme is, the thing where people really, really get destroyed on is the new coins. When a coin just comes out and there's FOMO, and then they buy it after it's up 20x, and then it tanks on them. So that's why I tell people, just don't buy meme coins right when they come out. I mean, I understand what you're saying about Crenshaw. Listen, I'm gonna look into this. I know this is big with the Crenshaw, more anti crypto. Round 2 renomination next week. Please, need a video on it. Fox News. We're gonna look into it, man. Absolutely. I know. This is we're gonna look at that. When it comes to scam coins, CoffeeZilla, well, yeah, he does like almost like a documentary style after the fact. But when it comes to like the thing that'll kill people is just the FOMO, right? When a coin gets released and people are promoting it, just stay away from coins that immediately get released, meme coins. It's just because even if there isn't a big promotion for them, they all tank immediately anyways after they have a run up. I mean, very rarely outside of like that peanut coin, which immediately went to like 1 billion, the coin will have a run up, it'll tank, and you don't want to get caught in buying the coin as it's going down. And they're meme coins, so they're going to go down like, 5 million to like 200K. I mean, you're fucked if you're buying at 4 or 5 million. I lost an XRP. I'm sticking with boomer coins. Well, XRP is a boomer coin in crypto. How's Dark Maga doing? It's just accumulate. It's in accumulation mode. I'm not gonna sell it though because there's too many times where I'll sell it and then coins go up. I've had that happen with MOG and SPX. I'm just not gonna sell it. I mean, I know you probably but it's like the narrative of it. Like there's another Trump meme coin that just went up. So the story about Duke lacrosse players, I could have sworn that story was like 7 years ago, not like back in 2005, because I do remember seeing a lot of that in the news. GTA 6 is taking too long. Well, it's common knowledge that GTA 6 is fall of 2025. Do you ever do crypto ETFs? No, I don't do ETFs at all. Filing taxes with exchanges is a pain. Rather throw in the ETFs. Yeah, I'm not going to have any crypto taxes this year because I didn't take anything out yet. But it'll be interesting to see what Trump will do to the capital gains. Man, if he could lower the capital gains, that could save me. I mean, imagine lowering it right as we enter the bull, and then our taxes in 2020, our 2025 taxes are lowered because of the capital gains coming down. All the crypto talk reminds me of the scam bots in YouTube. Yeah, they have a horrible problem with that. I can't believe YouTube doesn't even try and fix that. It got so bad with YouTube to where they'll just make, and there still are, if you look at like the ads to videos, they'll take the creator of like Ethereum, XRP, whatever, and they'll like, fake his voice and he'll be talking, but he'll actually be muted and it'll be somebody else like an AI bot talking about, we've got this sale coming up and just connect your wallet. And how is that even allowed? How is there not vetting done by YouTube? Or like, how has somebody not told YouTube, hey, this is going on? You have scammers buying YouTube ads. Like, how is this? You have to, like, is there not a vetting process when it comes to, I guess there's not a vetting process when it comes to advertisements. Dark Maga will have its day soon enough. I appreciate that. There's a believer right there. Yeah, I'm a believer in it, man. But like, it's never easy. You're not gonna, we have to just suffer through it. But it's a pain in the ass, man. I wish, you see some of these other coins, but I mean, the Trump coins really aren't doing anything. So I'd be a little bit nervous if the Trump coins were doing well and Dark Maga wasn't doing anything. But if the other coins are kind of doing nothing, I mean, I think all the Trump coins are gonna run at some point. What's your second channel? It's called DG2. I have like a few different channels, but like the second one that's what it's called. Is your governor a rhino? Yeah, it's the wine. You're selling your DMAGA days before or up to inauguration day. I'm not going to really say what, a time when you should sell it. It just depends on the market conditions. What do you think about the Luigi case? Luigi's a twat. I mean, he's just a spoiled kid who's, now he gets his little name out there. No, listen, the healthcare system's really messed up. But the kid is he's just like, you look at what he wrote and everything. He's one of those annoying people who's very difficult to deal with. He's got a very just sneaky type attitude, and he's a very hardened. I mean, I say, I don't know, man. He's kind of a weirdo. Trump is never going to mention Mog. I mean, that's a degenerate bet if for that to happen. Someone needs to just tell Trump, imagine we had inside info and we're just like, we're going on Polymarket. We're going to put $1,000 on this. But I don't even, you have to use a VPN, I guess, on Polymarket. Any drone news? Yeah, we've been talking about it. It looks like they're trying to sniff out for a nuclear, a hot bomb, a nuclear bomb, or nuclear matter, or nuclear activity, or something like that. But who knows? I mean, nobody knows exactly what it is. They've been flying all over the place. They're trying to find something, or they're using the drones. That's why they've expanded their search now. Instagram bots are even worse than YouTube. Yeah, I'm not on Instagram a ton. I mean, I feel like the Instagram comments, I guess Instagram comments are kind of like TikTok. It's like hard to read them. It's hard to read the Instagram comments. Reddit is really sticking with the hero worship of him. Reddit is a liberal echo chamber. Well, that's known. I mean, Reddit does have good information, but you got to know where to find it. But yeah, I mean, you go on Our Politics, it's a total liberal dick suck worship center. And really so the states, like, you go on Our South Dakota, Our Ohio, Our North Dakota. Like, you go on the North Dakota subreddit, and it's just all liberal. There's like 5 liberals in the entire state of North Dakota. They're all on the subreddit. And it's like, we can't even get North Dakota to be a Republican subreddit. We can't even get Oklahoma. I'm sure Oklahoma's as liberal as well. They have like the subreddits of the states. I went on my state. It's just, I knew it was going to be bad. Because it's like Ohio, because Ohio's Republican, but there's still a lot of liberals, and it's just all just liberal diarrhea word, just diarrhea walls of text, just liberal. But I mean, that's what you expect. Why is slow mode on? That was turned on a while ago because people kept spamming the spelling of bad words, let's just say, and you spam stuff. It's to prevent spam. I like that it's on. Who will draft Ashton Genty? I don't know on that. I mean, it looked like the Cowboys were going to, but I don't know anymore. OpenAI whistleblower found dead in San Francisco. Yeah, I saw that. You want to talk about that's... Who knows, man? He's the person of the decade, Trump? Yeah, Trump is. You're killing me. I live in North Dakota. Go take a look at your sub. Go take a gander at the sub. I don't. It's probably pretty bad. Too bad the Chans all died out. Those were always so hard for me to read. Those threads on 4chan or 8chan. The format of it's fucked. Do you think DMAGA could pop post inauguration? I feel like it will fizzle out. Elon probably won't talk about it. Well, it's just like the narrative of Trump and just, yeah. I mean, dude, it's like with that coin, it's such a letdown on how it performed with Musk mentioning it. But that's how crypto is. Like, you just never know. Like it could boom without Musk saying a word about it. You never, you know. And plus, it's just been accumulating this entire time. I mean, it clearly has a floor right now of like 4 million. There's true believers that are still in it because it's hit its floor a few times, like 3.5 million. You just woke up. Who won the election? Depends. When did you go to sleep? Did you go to sleep before the Republican primary? I'll be honest, man. Chris Christie won. Who pushed Pelosi? Yeah, what happened to Pelosi? She broke her hip or something? Trump's drone tweet was funny. Did he just have a new one? Oh, you're talking about this one, yeah. The Christie one. We already looked at that. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this. Am I subscribed to Kai Trump? I think Kai Trump might do a video with Barron where it's like they're saying she's gonna do a video with Barron, so that'll be a huge one. I mean, I've seen her videos. It's like pretty good behind the scenes with the Trump family. Next election is gonna be boring. Yeah. Next election should be not good compared to the Trump years. If you guys want to join my Discord, link to that is the link might have expired. There is a link if you go to the video on the SPX video. The link is active there. It's in the description. But I'll see you. I just whenever I like, because I'll drink this Powerade and then by the time I have to piss, I just say, I think we've gone on long enough. But I'll be seeing you guys.